certain number of units. All right, reflection, remember, we reflected over a line, or we reflected over a line. Now translations, I'm going to move a figure up, down, left, and right a certain amount. Here's where it might get tough. Reflection, hey, that was lowercase r and that was it. If I saw lowercase r, I knew it was a reflection. Translation, though, 3 different ways I could write a translation. 3 different ways. The first way is in function notation. I could write a translation using function notation. Here's an example of function notation. We always started off with x comma y. All right, always. That's how function notation starts off, with x comma y. And then we're going to do the implies, right, the arrow that we're used to from our proofs. And then in the next set of parentheses, I'm going to tell you what's happening to every x and every y coordinate. So for example, I'm going to put -3 for the x, y plus 2 for the y's. So let's go over what's happening right now when I write this in function notation. Where's the slide happening? Well, if you think about the x, that only goes left and right. So -3, what direction do you think I'm going to go? Left 3 units. So I'm taking my point, I'm going left 3 units, and then what do you think this y plus 2 tells me? Then go up 2. All right, so that's what this is telling you. Take all your points, left 3, up 2, that's where they stay now. All right, left 3, up 2. Another way I could write a translation is called vector notation. Vector notation. I'm not too sure why they leave it like this instead of parentheses or brackets, but that's what they have. And inside is how you move in what direction. So you're going to see 2 numbers inside. One for the x, one for the y. Hey, these 2 mean the same thing, just written differently. All right, everybody good? These 2 mean the same thing, just written differently. Left 3, up 2. All good. Last one. I just don't have a name for it. Remember, lowercase r was for reflection. Uppercase T, capital T. Why do you put fangs on your T? I don't know. That's how I roll. I don't care if there's there or not. With an uppercase T, with a subscript. The subscript tells you how you're moving. All 3 mean a translation, just written differently. All 3 mean the same translation of left 3, up 2. And yeah, I need you to know all 3 because Friday's test, I may say, please leave your answer in function notation. Please leave your answer in vector notation. So yes, we do need to know the names and the types of notation.
Would you say like other notation?
I wouldn't do that. Yeah, I wouldn't say leave it in other. But what I would do is take point A, 2, 3, and write that. So you got to know, oh, gee, capital T, translation, left 3, up 2. I wouldn't have you write it in that, though, only vector and function. Good question. All right, so let's actually get into translations now. I got square ABCD. That's what I start out with. What do I call that again? That's the figure I start out with. Pre-image. And then I'm going to move it, and I get ABCD, which is called my image. Good. Just want to make sure we're good with the vocabulary. First question: is this a translation? Yeah. It's a translation because I'm sliding. No. The slide has to be the same from A to A prime, B to B prime, C to C prime, and D to D prime. So what I need you to first do is, all right, how am I going from A to A prime? Left, right, up, down, how many units? And is that the same to go from B to B prime, C to C prime, and D to D prime? So you have to move the same distance and direction for every point for it to be a translation. So test it out right now, and I'll ask somebody. Just because you're sliding doesn't make it a translation. It's got to be the same distance and direction you're sliding for every point. So what do we think? Are we doing the same distance and direction for every point? I just want a yes or no here. That's all I'm looking for. Maybe or a maybe. Amy?
Yes.
Yep. So yes, this is a translation. How do you know? Because all points are moved the same distance and direction. That is a translation. A slide doesn't cut it. It's got to be the same slide, if you want to put it that way. All right, describe it in your own words. Now give me numbers and direction. How are you going from A to A prime, B to B prime? I want number and direction. So up, down, left, and right, this many units. How do you go from these pre-image points to the image points? In your own words. I'm not looking for a notation, just in words now. Give me a specific direction and distance. Zoe, let's roll. What do you have? Okay, yep. I always put the left and right first just because it's on the X and that always comes first, but you are correct. So right 6, down 2. You are not wrong if you put down 2, right 6. Actually, right, it's down 2.
Down 3.
Did you say 3? Yeah, I'm sure. Go back and check the tape on that one. We're good? Okay, good talk. Oh, never seen that one before. Nope, never seen it before. No, I didn't think so, right? Never seen it before. First time all year that's come up. Except on October 11th, October 13th, November 1st. We could keep going, right? We could keep going. Probably because your heads are always down, getting ahead in the notes. You never see anything anyway, so it's probably why too. 2-1. All right, I'm off. I'm done venting. Let's graph triangle ABC. And graph it along the vector -4, 1. All right, I did not use the word translation. We have to recognize a vector is the way of writing a translation. It's a notation of writing a translation. And what's the -4 and 1 telling me to do? Take A, B, and C and move them where? What's that telling me in the vector to move them? Zeev? You got it. So everyone's going to move A, B, and C, left 4, up 1. And don't forget to call them primes, right? Don't forget to call them primes. Check the directions. It just says graph. It does not say state. So I'm not going to ask anybody what the coordinates are. I just want to see your graph. Any issues? Vector, vector. All right. Let's keep going. Different methods here. All right. So another triangle. Go ahead. Take a second. -3, 4. -2, 1. I've asked for a translation again, but just in a different notation. 3, -1 is the subscript. And take a look at the directions. I added and state. So I will be asking somebody what A prime, B prime, and C prime are here. But first, graph it. So hopefully you know what 3 and -1 tell you to do. All right, who's up here giving me A prime, B prime, and C prime? If you tried to go on to part C, you're probably wrong, but just a heads up. Oh, Haley, here we go. Come on, Haley. A prime.
0, 3.
0, 3. Got it. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong one.
And
Oh, I didn't. B prime. I'll do the teaching. B prime.
-1, -2.
Uh-oh, 2 for 2. Don't screw it up. Dig deep. Finish. C prime.
1, 0.
1, 0. Good. You can stay now. All right. Everyone's good? Okay. Now it's asking me, not in vector notation, draw a vector that represents this translation. All right. So let's back up. What is a vector first? What the heck is a vector? I don't know if it was like day 2 or 3. It was definitely back when I liked all of you as a collective group. Not anymore, but we went over this thing that looked like this. Remember what that was called? It was Matt. Nice job. What's it called? Matt, contribution. First real contribution in 3.5 quarters. Good. All right. It's array. Good job. That's a vector too. What a vector does, it tells you the distance and direction you moved. So I could have a vector that looks like this. I move this distance in this direction. So how can I come up with a vector that's the right size and pointing in the right direction that I went 3, -1? What's that going to look like? Because it's got to be as long as the distance we traveled and the direction we traveled. I want to come up with an array that shows that. The distance we traveled and the correct direction. Is there an easy way out here? We're not getting distance formula, don't worry. Is there an easy way I could draw this vector? I need it the length the distance we traveled, and the direction. Josh, thought?
Can you just draw it on the graph?
Where?
From like B to
Anywhere? Oh, so Josh is saying, wait a second. Why not just take one of the pre-image and draw it to the image point? Nice job, Josh. Way to go. So yeah, I could go from A to A prime. Right? Everyone agrees? That's the distance we travel and the direction. I could go from B to B prime or C to C prime, but that's a vector. Hey, you want to get real nuts? Just put a rando point and do over 3, down 1, and draw it to there. If you wanted to really get nuts. All right, it doesn't have to be on the actual figures. Good job. Anything else? So that's what a vector is, and that's how you draw it. All right, I got 2 more, right? Ooh, this one, I got a lot of people third period with this one. Let's see how many I can catch here. All right, first thing, I'm doing a translation. It went from 3-3 to 6-1. Before I read any of the other problem, I need one of you guys to give me what I did. It's a translation. So where did I slide? Up, down, left, and right, and how many units? From 3-3 to 6-1. What did I do? All right, tell me the distance and direction I did my sliding. Ooh, Haley, back to you. What do I have here?
Right 3, down 2.
Yep, and however you want to write that, there's no specific notation. So I went right 3, down 2. That was the rule I used. All right, so let's make sure we're good on the directions before I let you do this on your own. Find the pre-image. Hey, I ended up at 8-3 by doing that translation. Where did I start? The pre-image. Everyone see the directions. That's what I'm looking for when I call on people here. What point did you start at? You went right 3, down 2, and you ended up at 8-3. All right, so I need the starting point for each of these right now, the starting point. So if you haven't already, try to think about that. Hopefully the directions were clear now. I'll give you some time. What was the starting point for me to end up at 8-3 and for me to end up at 2, -5? So what point did I start at? The pre-image. Nice little honors level question, huh? All right. So where do we start? If I ended up at 8-3, I must have started at what coordinate then? Oh, Charlie. 5-5. You're darn right. I started at 5-5, went right 3 down 2, and ended up at 8-3. If I ended at 2 -5, part B, if I ended at 2 -5, hey kids, where must I have started? Amy? Good job. Any issues there? Good job. A little better than third period. Good work. All right, believe it or not, I do have favorite examples through the course of the year, and this next one's probably in my top 5 favorite ones. Oh, we got the band marching. Band camp, kids. I got any band in here? Any band? We'll discuss band. Wow, I had none in third period. None. I was shocked. What do you play, Josh? What? Relax. I'll get to you. What do you play?
Oh, percussion.
Percussion. Now, is that anything like drums, tambourine,
Yeah.
cymbals, percussion? No?
Yeah.
Really? You play it all?
Yeah.
Nice. Bongos?
Yeah.
Okay. How long have you been playing?
I don't know, since 5th grade.
Wow. Okay. Aiden, what do you play?
Alto sax.
Okay. Wow. That's a type of saxophone I'm asking. How long have you been playing that?
5th grade.
Now, what is the difference between that and a regular saxophone?
There isn't really a regular. There's just different types. It's just like lower and higher pitch.
Okay. So you have the lower or the higher one?
It's like a middle.
Okay. What would the higher one be called?
Soprano,
Okay. Lower?
tenor, baritone.
Okay. Got it. You've been doing sax since 5th grade?
Mhm.
That's an option in 5th grade?
Yeah.
Wow. There was others. Zeev, you were on? Band? Clarinet? Boy, how long? 5th grade as well? Nice. There's others. Others? Will? Trombone since 5th grade? Anybody else? That's unbelievable. I ask, I'm not making fun or joking because I envy you guys because I have zero musical or artistic talent, as you've seen in the past units. My musical endeavor, 5th grade baritone, and then that was it. Let's just say I couldn't get through hot cross buns, and I was like, all right, I'm good. So 5th grade, I was out. One and done. 1 year and done for baritone. So you guys, a lot of respect to you guys there. But anyway, here we go. Back to band camp. We're going position 1 to position 2. What am I doing? A warning, so you don't embarrass yourself when I call on you. Look at the grid. It's going by 2s, isn't it? So be careful here when you give me the distance and the direction. You're going by 2s here. Every unit is 2, so be careful. So first question. First, in words. In words, how do I get group 1 to land up right on top of group 2? Every point's got to match up. So going from group 1 to group 2, in your own words, what's the distance and direction I need to slide? In your own words, and then we'll put it into function notation. Be careful again, you're going by 2s. Remember, every unit is 2 units. Or 2 steps. We good? So in your own words, somebody tell me to go from position 1 right on top of position 2. How many do you have to go here? Gianna, what do you think? Good job, left 12. There's no up or down here. I just got to go left 12 and I'm right on top of each other. Good work. Now let's put those words into function. The first time I've had you write function notation today. Have to start it off with just x comma y. Have to. And then you put the implies, and now you tell me what you're doing with x and y. So if we're going left 12, what's going to be attached to that x now? Oh, Amy. X minus 12. And then we didn't do anything with the y. We didn't go up or down, so we can just leave it y. If you want to get nuts, yeah, you can put plus 0, minus 0, but it means all the same. All good here. All right, the real test now is, what do I do to go from position 1 to 3? And now, hey, so we're clear, because there was a lot of confusion yesterday when I did this lesson with my ABs. All of position 1 has to line up on position 3. It's just not up, go to that point, to that point. That's not matching up. It's got to be all of these guys on top of all of position 3. All right, and here's a hint. You did half of it already in part A. You did half the moving in part A already. All right, be careful. Remember, it's like every time you move one, it's actually 2 steps. So be careful. This one's a little tricky. And we're doing it as a translation vector, And you did half the work already in part A. So 1 on top of 3. What's your move and direction? How many moves and direction? Nobody. Actually, I had one. Liam, the one you guys voted out.
That's what I was gonna say.
Percussion, yeah. That was it. I was shocked.
Because each key was 2.
We got some discussion.
Go 2, 4, 6, 8. So, oh,
Olivia's in band. You don't want to chime, but what do you got, Olivia? What do you play?
blue,
Okay, what's wrong with that?
nothing.
How long? 5th grade?
6th grade.
Okay. So we're a well-rounded band as well. We could have an actual legit band here, huh? With all the different instruments. How's playing the flute? All right.
Yeah.
My oldest daughter's in 4th grade, and she's not doing orchestra this year, but she wants to do something next year. Flute was one of her top ones. Whatever you need to do. She's not going to get that talent from her father, that's for sure. All right, we ready? We think we got it? I strung this out long enough. Well, are we going to finish this here, Zeev?
-12
-12, and yes, and I will tell you, first one to get that correct, first try. In all my classes, yep, down 9. I've had down 10, down 8. Right, it starts in the middle, but then it ends up on the line. So I needed to go 1 unit since I'm going 2 every time. So good job. Yep, left 12, down 9. What?
If it's ever like this, will always be the middle. Like we wouldn't have to figure it out.
What do you mean in the middle?
Like it was going up 2, and you put it.
Oh
in
yeah,
the middle
yeah,
too.
yeah. That's fine. I'm not going to do like a quarter on you or a half. Yeah, I wouldn't do that too. All right, we all good? All right, good job today. Good job.